and share my screen. Okay, for the class of today, we will be working into HTML forms. Okay, this is what is planned for today. You already finished all the part.html. Just are missing three topics that are like a HTML form, responsive web, and flexible and grid. This one is divided into, and with that, we will just basically finish what is in this case all the part of HTML. Says God. Okay, then I will be working. We will go over the presentation. Then we'll go to the presentation. We will go to the first practice, the second practice, and if we have time, you will start working in this case into your homework. It will be for the day of today. I will be working in Replit. Why? It's just easier for me to be working over here. And if you want, you can work using Replit, or you can use your VS Code. I mean, it will be the same for you. There is nothing convenient. Then I will just open here. I will call it in this case HTML. It is forms, and it will be an HTML, and I will create one Replit, and I will be working here. It's not needed that you work here, but why I am sending it to you is because you can open it and you will see my code just in case you just want to be watching or something. But I will invite you to code with me, uh, and that will be for what we will be doing today. I am basically like this again, a form, a presentation, practice, and if we have time, and this game will be homework, and we will go over there. Um, if there is not objection, I will start, but if there is something that you want to say before starting the class, feel free right now. Okay, cool. Then in this case, I will be basically uh, starting. Okay. When we are talking about web, there are two things that we needed. Exist, in this case, two types of the element, let's say it. The element that display information and the elements, in this case, to capture information in the internet, right? We have input and output. I think like since your computer, you know that you also have elements, or in this case, things in your computer that allow you to see things, and there are other ones that allow you to input information. For example, if we see about our laptop, we can see everything through the screen, through we can hear things. Oh, okay, then we have these two options. And to input information, we have, for example, our keyboard. With our keyboard, we type information and you send information to the computer. With your mouse, you also send information to the computer if you use it. With the trackpad, or for example, now that could be that the screen also, you can touch it and you can give some instruction to the internet or anything. Well, in web, the majority of time, and when I am saying like the majority, we always will have a form. A form is the most common way how we can interact with a website. We add some information, that information go to the servers or anyway, then that we have it. And the form is how we capture information. The forms can be in different ways. For example, it can be, if you open here, you have a form. with to subject or some information that you have here. In any other way, you have it. Let's say that you are opening Facebook. When you open a Facebook, yeah, you have a in this case, a form. This like you need to register for first time. You have a form. You go to, in this case, to Amazon. You get some information, right? You have here some stuff, process to check out, and here you have a form, and you are just getting the majority. And you say change, and here, add a new address, and we have a form. Then you can understand that the forms are like a very useful. I mean, you will find it all the time. The very likely that a big part of your job or your thing would be capture information. So far, it's like the most effective way that we have it in order to give information, right? How we give information? We give the information in the way to a form, and that form is organized with all the different fields that we have it. Then we can provide some information and we wait it. Inside the forms, we have also this thing that is called a validation. We can see, for example, here, let me just say that, for example, here they are asking me for a phone number. But if I write something like a letter, well, it's not validated, but in this case, they may, look, yeah, please enter. We were not talking about validation, but I want you to understand. For example, here we are expecting one number, then in this case, is validating the information. The validation is in order to what we have it in the form is the same thing like we are receiving. We are expecting sometimes that information, not all the time correct, but maybe we were expecting numbers. We have to validate that those are numbers and emails and all those type of information that we may have it, right? This will be the basic why do we use HTML forms. As you say, saying like that, the HTML forms are required when we want to collect data. If you need to get some type of information, you will always use a form. It's the most effective way. And as I was showing you, we use it to collect or to register information. What type of information? Whatever you know, whatever you need in order to perform your, in this case, your activities or what you want to do it, and everything starts with the element form. The element form is the one who will give you some powers to your elements. Let me just start here. This is our HTML that we have it. For now, you can just be observing. I will be just going some general. When we start coding, I will tell you and you can start doing it with me for now. Right now, it's not that important what I am going to do. I create a button and this button will be called send information. Okay. And this button send information that you have it here. If I save it, I save it and I run it, that is the way that is working in this case, you have this same information. I want you to check this element for now. At the moment, nothing is happening. But when you start, I will open it here. I will open the inspector. I will put this one down. I will go to this place that is called networks. The network is the interaction between your computer and the network. In this case, sending thing over the internet, right? That is what we are having so far. Then that is the network. If I press this one, look, I am pressing the send, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Let me just change it. And let's go. And here let's present one form. And I will add this element into a form. The definition of form is the way that we send information. Okay, a form is the way that we send information. We save it. I will just save that one. And I want you to see two things. Check what is happening to this element and what is happening to the network. I will say send information. Here is happening something, and here is happening something else. Okay, what is happening here? In this case, the network get triggered. That means saying that something was sent through the internet. Where? That is not important right now. And here you will see two different things. This element, this, in this case, symbol there of this admiration. And every time that you press here, there is one refresh. There is one refresh that you are having here. This one took 400 milliseconds. So what is doing it over here? Yeah. And you can just go here. Okay. Okay. Then there you have it. And you perform this. Just keep it like this. I am just saying you that when you are adding this HTML form, something is happening, right? It's not just the form, it's also the behavior, the way that this element is change is different. For now, we will keep it like this. We will create it, we will, from this point, we will start it. But the tag HTML, the HTML tag form is a special tag. And this tag, in this case, allows you to send information through the network, and transforming this button into a send button. Let's continue, and we'll over this structure, we will be constructing something bigger. Now, the HTML form submission is handled with some of the backend language and JavaScript. But for today, we will just see the HTML. What I am saying, when we are sending the information, usually you will send it to the backend. But for our today, it's just the HTML part that we'll be seeing, okay? And we will not be seeing the JavaScript or not the backend part. That will be later. How you interact, how you get this information, or whatever you do it, please just be aware that I will not be connecting. We will just see the graphic part today. The form, in this case, contains some elements. These elements that we have it, that we will have it, will, in this case, that the input areas and everything. Right now, and inside all this form that we already created, we have elements. Those elements are a special one. All the elements tend to have it, in this case, the way that we use it. Input, text area, buttons, whatever. I will be showing you right now the first 10. There are too many, there are many, but let's just go with the most common one. The most common one, in this case, will be the input. By default, all the input, in this case, tends to be, and let me just add here one BR. I think, I'm not sure if we need to put it together, but whatever. Ah, stupid me, right? I an element where I don't need. all the inputs by default, they capture information, any type of data, any type of data. Every input has, in this case, some modifiers. This modifier, someone remember how are calling this modifier that we have inside elements? For example, into the image, we have this SRC and those things. Do you remember how they are called?
Attribute.
Attribute, exactly. And those attributes that we have it, these attributes or properties that we are having over there allow us to change the behavior of the element. This attribute type or this, in this case, property type, it allows me to change the way that that element behaves. We will go over it. For example, now I will just show you, in this case, 3 of them. Let me just change it here. 1, 2, 3, and we save it. For now, all of them are looking the same. But if I change the type, for example, this one will be text, this one will be number, and this one, in this case, will be, let's say it, a checkbox. And we save it. In this case, I run it. Now I change it, right? Here I will, now it's different. This one is a checkbox. If you see it, it's the same. It's an input. But I am just telling it what type it is. Okay. This is a checkbox. This one is a number. Look here. It's allowing me to change using a number. And in this one, we have a text. We can add numbers, but actually what I have inside, it will be as a text. Another one, funny one that we can know it here could be, and I think is very visual, is something that is called password. We save it, I refresh it, my information, and look, I will write some information here. I will just write my secret password. And I am not doing anything. Everything right now is coming from the HTML element that we are having over here. Please, right now, you can be trying, because after this, we will go, and for example, here, I will say data, and here will be the number 2, and yes. And if I will say my password, please copy this part, then press this send information, If you are using your VS Code, you use the live editor, the live server, you copy this and you write in this case, and you send it and tell me what is happening in your browser. What is happening here? What is happening here? I will give you, in this case, 2 minutes. I think it will be okay. If you have any question, feel free to tell me right now.
Hello, Mario. And I have a question. I want to ask, here input, we will use only closing tag, yes? Why?
It's the way that they are.
It's rule
Basically,
like that.
yes.
BR, why we are using BR?
Just
create
because no, just to create another line. But this is just because I don't want them to be. I will just show you. Actually, I think I don't need to use it, but look, because of this, I didn't want them because they are inline element. And then because they are inline element, I just want them to be in one line and one each other. But it's nothing special. It's just I think it's easier. It's easier if we see it in line.
Okay, thank you. I
You're
understand.
welcome. Okay, thank you for the question. We still have 1 minute. By the way, I have here one. You don't see it, but I have one timer here. When I say you 2 minutes, I give you at least 2 minutes. If you need more time, tell me. But if not, and when you finish coding it, please try to press this add some information here. Add some information here. And press send information and tell me what happened. Because something has to happen over there.
Yeah, so after pressing this button, I see the small window and he's asking me to save the password.
Exactly. No, that one is because you have this password over here. Then by default, let me just go over here. Okay, let me ask here. Look, for example, here is already understanding that it's a password. I will say Maria 39. I will send this here. And here, okay, I will say Mario, some information. Let me say 45 here. I will just clean this data. I will put here some data and send information. Okay, first one is telling me to save the data, And if I do go right now, it's not basically telling me that much. It's not. Okay. Here we have it. And that is, okay. It's not telling me that much, just saying like a safety information. Let's continue over there. Let's continue with this part. This is, right now you are just seeing, okay, the data, but something important, something that it will be very, very important is we need to add another identifier because right now the internet or your website will not know. Yes, Ibec?
Hello.
Yes.
First, I want to make sure if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So regarding the send information button, when I'm pressing this button, I'm not getting that window pop up to save the password. Is it okay or?
It is absolutely okay. That just means something. That means like there are two ways. Or you are using, in this case, your browser is in like incognito where you don't save it. This is one option. Or the second one is like you are not logging into a Gmail or anything so far, and your Chrome or whatever is not saving it. It's not 100% necessary that you will be working on it. It's just dependent if you are telling your browser, save my password. If not, it's absolutely fine. You don't need to get it right now. The only important is if you see this one over here, that is by default. If you press it, okay, this has to be a number. That is here. This one, just forget it, but this one has to be changing. This one has to be refreshing. If it's refreshing, like it's changing, and appear here this symbol. That means that all is okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know, the problem is when I'm opening that network in the
Mhm.
developer tools, I see when you are pressing the send information button, you are like getting some changes here. But in my case, it's only showing that index HTML and status cert 304, size, time, and waterfall, and nothing else. I hope
Would you
is
mind
I
to
hope
show?
it's
No. Would you mind to show it to me? It will be interesting for everybody to see it if you can share your
Ah.
screen.
yeah, sure.
And if any of you has anything, it's good that you tell me and we can show to everybody. Okay.
Okay.
I will be in this case. I'm waiting for your screen.
Can you?
No, I cannot see
A
anything
second.
yet. Okay,
You see
now
now?
I can. Yes, now I can see it.
So, look, I will refresh it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I will show you why. Not a problem. I will just. It's absolutely okay. Would you mind in this case to stop sharing your screen?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. I will just show you this case. It's, I want you to see here. Here, you're saying old. It's like this. And you are sharing all the information here. I am just using this one that say fetch. Just the only different. Here you have different options here. Say you have this one active, the one that say old.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And yeah, you are welcome. And what is happening is because I have too many stuff that they are running and I don't want you to see it because I am using this one. That is why I have this fetch. My mistake, I didn't fetch in this case is get information, get or send information, but we can keep it in this case, basically what you have it here. And then you will have all your information. That is absolutely fine. And here you have something that say clean, and you can just be cleaning your data. So far, don't pay don't much information here. Look, I just sending the information, saving, and I just don't pay attention what you have over there. The main point today is to see that something is happening. Later, we will be changing this one. Okay, good. That is the most important. Then here, we will have something that is called name. Okay. The name is what do we have in this? What do we have here? Okay, look. The name will be, for example, username. Okay. The name will be age. The name will be for example, term and condition, sorry, name equal accept terms and condition. The password will be okay. Usually here we don't have anything to say in this password. And we save it. Okay. For now, we just save it. Mario, I don't see any change in this thing that you are passing the information. Okay, then I just say name Mario, then I say 39, then I press here, then I press here. Oh, okay, this is a password. Okay, and I press send. Look what is happening here. I am sending the information somewhere, right? I am sending, in this case, the information somewhere. And we will just have, in this case, some information that you are passing it. Yeah, and here you have it. Look, if you go into your network, go to all, okay? Don't be like me here. Usually it's because of working. You go like all, you see the information, and you will see this one that say symbol of admiration, your username, and all the information that you are passing. It is saying, let me just go again over here. I will refresh it. I will remove this part right now. I am in the beginning. I clean and I say Mario 35. Yes. And here I will write my, and look what is happening here on top. Sending information. And if I go here to the first one in my network, I have all my information. Look, username, Mario, age 35, accept term and condition on or true, right? True. In this case, password, what you say? Okay, passwords. That is the password that I wrote it over there. This is absolutely not secure at all, but that is what is happening all the time. This is how we send information over the network. You have a form. By default, this is the default way that the HTML works. All your data is passing here. All your data is passing here. And you, in the network, if you go to all and you go here, you will have this one that is called payload. The payload is like the information that we are sending, and that's it. Here in the header, if you are curious, you will find a lot of information like your IP address, all your information. That is what sometimes people say, like, be careful when you are sending for the internet. You are sending a lot of information over the internet. You think like I am just pressing send information, but I am sending my IP address. I am sending, in this case, where I am connected. I am sending my type of computer and for what type of in this case, or browser I am using it in this case, what I have it over there. Look, all that information you are passing it for free. But what is important for us is this payload. If you see here you don't see this information about the username, age, acceptance, and term and condition, and password. All of those are this name. That is why it's very important name the thing properly. If you name it properly, you will not have any inconvenience with the internet or with that, with having it here. Then you have the input, the type, modify what type of data we get it. The name give you, when you send it through the internet, how I understand what it was typed over there. That is the name. And the last one, but not least, is in this case something that is called placeholder. And the placeholder is nothing more, than, for example, right here, your name, please. And I will save it. I will run it. And by default here, it will tell me something like write your name, please. And the other one, you can do it the same, placeholder, and we say only numbers, please. And we are giving it right now some information to the user. Even though exist different options that we will see some of them. And the majority of time, these are the most common one. Checkbox is very special because actually you have next you write like a terms and condition. And you will usually write something like this. Or you will write something that says term and condition. And you will write whatever you want over there and you have it. And the password is working the same. Placeholder. Write your password, please. Password, please. And we have it over there. And this is the first element. And this case, and basically, this is one of the most powerful that you will be using in all the internet. That is the input. I found it the most versatile that you have it. Please copy this. I will give you 2 minutes. And if you have questions after those 2 minutes, I will be answering you if they are into my knowledge to share with you. I will add here 2 minutes to my timer. Please type all this information and we continue after that. Any question? Please feel free to ask.
Mario, did you explain about the script, JS, or not? Okay, maybe I thought I just.
Yeah, no, we can even remove it. I mean, this is just because it was in this in Replit
Yeah,
is by default, nothing
I
more.
use it in VS Code and just didn't create the new file, the script.js, and I couldn't see in browser the information, so I just had to create this new file to see it. Okay, but now it's fine. I just created the JS file and I can see the information with.
It doesn't have to give you that one because let me thank you for telling me, because if it's that, then we have an inconvenience. Let me just open my VS Code. Here I have my VS Code. I will open something new. I will open a folder. I will call this folder HTML form. I would say, because it doesn't have to be like this. Let me say index.html. And I will say HTML5. I will paste what I have done, nothing more. Save all the information. Open it with live server. Okay. Inspect. Network. Everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Here I will just add my information. Mario. Number 5. Accepted. Password. And send information. It's over there.
I don't
It's
know,
not.
but let me just try. I just will try to delete the JavaScript file.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be in this case.
Yeah,
In theory,
I copied because it was in your file. Okay, I'll delete it. Just try.
I have a question. If we will
Yes, Elsa.
Thank you. If we will send this page, this ready document to someone to fill out the information that they have, we will see the all information over there, right? Oh, well, that sounds very, that's scary, actually. Thank
Yes, that you are sending all this information, your computer, your IP address. Okay, one thing is like you are sending it, and the other one, if the server is processing it, like usually you will not process it, but yes, you are sending all that information all the time, and that is
Okay.
happening all the time.
All right, but to whom we are sending it? To the server?
No. Right
I
now,
mean, in general.
in general, you have to be sending it to another page. Usually you are sending it to, good question. Let me just try to answer it here. This form has 2 options, but
Okay.
let me just go here with one that is called action. Action is where you are sending it. Let me think let's think that we are sending it to Scitech. Then here, in this form, you will say where you are sending that information. If you are using HTML and CSS and JavaScript, we call it vanilla. This is the flavor vanilla, that is the basic that we have it. If you use the form action, this was part that I wanted to show you before. Let me just remove this part here, here, and here, right? Right now, if the question is right now, without this, to whom do we are sending it? We are sending it to nobody. You send this form, you are not sending the information to nobody, because we have to tell the form where we are sending the information. With the action, we say, send this information to this specific place. Usually will be a backend or wherever that we have it over here. And here, I'll say, for example, Mario, 40, so whatever, yes, and some data. I remove here and I send it. Here we are not seeing it, but from here, this information, I send it to Scitech, but because Scitech is making it in this case in React, you are not seeing the data here, but that is what is happening. Look, if we see it here in the header, you are saying you are sending the information to scitech.com, and I am sending all the information. Then here is where you are sending. Then you have the method, like how you are sending the data, and here is something that referring the security between your computer and the computer that is getting it. Usually over there, you will have some security. Right now, I don't have any kind of security. I am just sending data from one side to another one. Like if I were sending money to my bank, it just start throwing the bills from the street to inside to the bank. This is the less secure part that we can do it. It's not part of the class, but you have here, you have action, okay, where you are sending that information. Without this action, actually you are not sending it, it's just refreshing your page. It's like you are receiving the information and you say page and you say browser. You are not sending the information to anybody. But with the action that you have here, you perform the action. Send this information to this specific place. Usually over there, you will specify where you want to receive that data. That information, that will be it, that we can do it. But I am not sure if that answered your question, Alzada.
Yeah, it did. It did. Thank you. That was
Okay.
it's actually quite scary too, though.
Yeah. No, if you don't have anything here, you are not sending it to anybody. It's just boom, in your computer. But if you have to specify where you want to receive that data. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's continue. Right now, we just saw the first type of data. Let me continue here, because it's not, we will use this text area and select and blah, blah, blah a little bit later. This is what we have. Look, the text, the checkbox. We have here the date, email, file, password, radio, range. This one is one of this very interesting, this one. That is the range. I will just show you in the exercise. I will be showing you a little bit more. You have input, range. For example, we'll just have name and data, and you have it. Let me just refresh it here. We'll not see it too much, but look, we have here the info range. It's looking very beautiful without much code. All these elements, if we just take it this one, because they have some specific elements or characteristics, you could range, HTML input. And here we will have more data. For example, we can have a minimum, a max value, the value that it has, and the steps. All the things. Let's say, and like here, we take it and we add it. The minimum value is 0, the maximum value is 100, the value that you have right now is the 50%, and it's moving 10% each. And then he will be showing you 50%, and the movement will be less smooth because the step is 10. For example, if the step is 25, you will even find it less smooth, this thing. Look, it's less smooth. You just have 4 steps. If we needed to add some extra things in order to make it more beautiful, that is what we have it. You have the other one that is called, in this case, color. For example, type color. Let me just add this BR. And here you have this color picker. Don't worry, you don't have to learn all of those stuff like, oh, which one are like a color range of data. No, I will be honest. If you know these first two, you know the 90% of everything that you will be using. The majority of time you will have a text or a number or a password, maximum a checkbox or something like that. The other more specialized are cool and they are looking so nice, but for an e-commerce, when you will use the color, if I need to select, oh, I will sell this hoodie in 3 different colors, I select your color, something like that. But not much with this input that we can have. Okay? We will exercise in them and see the difference that we have it. But I don't find it that important. Other one that is quite important, and this one, yes, I think we have to use it, is in this case, date. Date, name date. This one I consider quite important. And what is habit is, oh, look, maybe a little bit different yours because Mario day, months, and year, like the normal one. My computer is in Europe. Just remember that. This one will read your browser or the configuration, and maybe in this case different, maybe different. Okay. But this another part, it will be just depending on your browser how it's showing you. Don't think like your computer has to be looking the same that my computer. It will depend on your browser. It will depend in this case on your type of typography by default and all of those stuff. Okay, but in general, will look similar. In general, will look similar. Then, okay, let's continue here. We are already in the middle of the presentation. Sounds good. Okay. We have 2 things, and that was what Elsa was asking me before. It was a little bit different. We have 2. We have the action, and the action defines the location, the URL where the form collects the data, where we should send the information, right? Because we don't want to send the bank information to Mario because it's not needed for him to know it. And we have another one that is called the method. Before, I want you to remember what I am going to say now into 2 months, okay, or in 2 months, or months and something. When you are talking about the method, what by default, just exist 2 methods. Just exist 2 methods, and one in this case is get, another one is post. by default, exists in this case the method get. In this case that we have here. Here you will have this action and you have this method. And here you will have the method get. This is by default. Okay, Mario, what are you talking about? I will refresh this thing. I will refresh this thing. I will add some information. Mario, 50, and enter. Okay, look, I am sending the information here. And by default, it's saying you are sending something in get. You are sending something in get. Okay, I will not be sending it to Cytec because I don't want to send the things to Cytec for now. And the other method is called post. I want you to try it. Remember here, you had to, we'll refresh it. Say the information here. And send the data. Please, when you send the data, tell me if there is a difference in this case that you have it. What is the difference that you had in that case? You send, the only difference is the method. I changed it from get to post. And those are the only two differences that we have it in this case. Try to do it. Add some, refresh your browser, type some data, and tell me which is the difference now that you have it.
I have a question, Mario.
Yes, Isa, tell me.
Yes, is it related with the API request? Can we use method delete?
No. And thank you for asking me. No, and that is why I am paying attention to this. By default, in HTML, just exists two. And that
Okay.
is but the other one, we can fake them because the API method arrived later in the internet. Then by default, here we are talking about the primitives. What is the most primitive way that we can do it with the form? The other method, usually you perform it when you get it into your second page. In the page that you are getting over there, we transform it, this method, into depending what the API needs. That is why I'm telling you, remember what I am saying now in 1 month and a half or something like that when we are saying APIs. In that moment, you will tell me, Mario, but you say that just exists post and get. It's true, but not 100%. It's true by this one, but later you will see it. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
got
for
it.
the
Thank you.
question. You're welcome. What happened? I think Vector wanted to tell something.
Oh.
Say something.
Yeah, just my page not working. Nothing.
Oh, I love this one. And this one is working or is not working?
Not working. Error 405.
Okay, that one, someone else is getting the same error or something like that.
Yeah, let me just
Yes,
check.
I'm getting the same error 405.
405. No. That error 405 is correct because doesn't exist the page. That means like when you are sending this one, you are sending it to this direction, and that direction doesn't exist. Then if 405 means like it doesn't exist. But let me just pass the data here. Let me review it and send the data, and that is correct. Then we have it here. Look, I'm just saying. The only thing that I needed to you is that one. Let me copy what I am having here. Let me copy everything here and I will go to my VS Code because sometimes maybe there is a difference between what you are seeing and what I see myself. Okay. I will delete everything and I will delete this one. We have the data. I will say Mario number, just number, this one, my password. Okay, whatever. And let me send it. Send information 404. Okay. Let me just do like this because you have that one and you cannot see it. Let that this one. Okay. That one means send it to my page. Just because we have it here. Let me just review if that is correct. I have it here some information. Hello. Just same information. If I have the same 404, okay. Let me create here something like a second.html. I will not have anything. I will just create it. HTML file. Just create it here. And in this action, I will just use second HTML. Just to prevent that error that you are having over there. I will refresh it. I have all the information. It was my mistake completely that I didn't prevent that one. I will add some information here. And I will just send the data. Oh, send. Did the problem continue? 405. Okay. Here is saying that I am passing it to this page. This page doesn't exist. I don't know. Method is not allowed. Whatever. And the payload that we are having here. Okay, that is some server problem. Something is happening. We don't have server. Maybe we need something. But the important part is if you see it here, you will see that you are passing the method post. You are passing here the information, and here is saying that the method post is not allowed. That is why it's giving me problems here. Let me just pass get just to see over here. Let's go. It's not allowing me to have a second page. Maybe it's the live server that is giving me some problem. Send information and no. Get is accepting without problem. I think like a live server doesn't accept in this case the method post. But it's because of the live server. It's nothing because we are doing something wrong or anything. By default, it has to be working. But thank you for noticing that in this case, Vector. I appreciate it. But even though if you see that part, that error, what is important or what I want you to see it, or what I want you to see in that specific moment is when you send information here, E is a number, that is why it's accepted E, and some data, some here. And if I send it, and if you go to this send HTML that failed, and you go to the payload, the information is here. The information is here. And it's not passing it through the URL. And that is basically the difference between the method get and the method post. The method get use the URL as a way to pass the information, and the method post embedded everything inside the body of your letter. Let's say like you are passing a letter, but what you are doing is passing it inside the network. Why in this case that is important, or why it's good? Because if you are passing it through the URL using get, in this case, for example, we have it here, and instead of passing, I pass get. And let me say that I have my password here. I still passing here. Wow, I didn't save it. I'm sorry. Run. Look that. And I will just pass the password. If I send it, look, I am passing the password here on the network. And if I use the method post, the only difference that I will say it, the data is passing. The data is passing. Yeah. It's passing. But you are not passing it through the network. In this case that you have it. Here, I have the password and I am passing it from the method post. That is the two important thing. I'm sorry that in the local browser is not showing you when, because here I say like the method post is not allowed, but that is part of the local server that we have. We have to implement a server in order to that part to work completely. But the idea or the important part here is that you are using a different request method. And in this case, the request method is post, and there we have, in this case, that the information is not going through our URL. It's going, in this case, through the payload. We have it. We
So,
will not be using, yes?
so like in which situations do we need to choose to get or post?
That is very good. And I believe also there is just one reason to select get, and is if you don't care the data that you are passing on the network. More or less, you can just see here in Amazon, depending how important is the information. Let me just go to Prime Video and look the URL. In this case, then I am passing the reference and everything. Why? Because right now it's not needed. You don't need any kind of security or anything inside your information. But if you are logging in or you are other one, it will always be better. Always will be better if you pass it to post.
So, I mean, I am creating this form to get
Mhm.
information about like customers, and I have to see all of information. So why do I need to create the post method or it's for customers?
No. It will be if you need information in your URL right now, because I haven't shown you or you haven't seen it. For example, let's say like you just need to get some categories, then you can pass it here. But it will depend up to you. Do you want to display it? There is no different from the browser itself. It's like what you are, do you want to show it or you don't want to show it? The difference is like, if you are passing the information through the URL, you have access to the URL. Then you can access to the URL and divide it or make whatever you need it. But it's up to you. Which one do you think is more suitable for your activity in this case? But the majority of the time when you have a form that is saving, login, or any kind of more important information, you will use using post. The majority of the time you use post because you don't want to be showing the URL. Aside of that, the URL has a limit. Imagine if you have one form of 200 pieces, you don't want to be showing the 200 pieces, in this case URL. Yeah, that will be one of those. Yes, Kai?
Yeah, Mario, these API things should be discussed later. I think now we need to focus on HTML forms because
Yeah.
this thing's complicated and yeah, it's the next level.
Yeah. In this case, yes, you are absolutely right. Thank you for your concern. But here is like when to use post of get, interchangeable, depending what your need. There is nothing more that you have. But Kai has a very good point. Thank you for raising it.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, welcome. Not a problem. Okay, now what we have to.
Please show how to move the inspect window to the bottom. Inspect window.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
you have it. These three buttons.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, now the next thing that we have to do is take 10 minutes break. If there is not another question that we need.
Yeah, Mario, can we like can I you already said that all of our information, even our location, will be sent to the okay. can I like change the place by myself? Like, can I like cheat with this information, or it's impossible?
No, no, no. In this case, well, you can. I can show you later. In this case, you can fake it a little bit, but that is another stuff.
Okay, thanks. It's
You're
just
welcome. I don't. The curiosity is always something good. Okay, let's take 10 minutes break. Let's break. 10 minutes timer, and we'll continue with this one. And I'm sorry for getting deviated for the main topic. It happens to be very often. See you in 10 minutes. I will stop recording. And okay, let's go with our here. Then we have here this in the last part that we seen it was the action, where we want to send the information, and the method, how we want to send the information. Usually we have get or post. We don't have other methods by default, just exist two. And the problem with the API, let's leave it for us in the future, what we are having over there. Okay. Then we have the button element. That is one that I already sent it to help it to send it to you. But this is something very funny, mostly over here. That, this input, the button is the most common one or personal, but we have another one. Input in this case, and this is one of the times when we can have input type, in this case button. There, let's go to value, send, and in this case we have it here, audio value send, and we just run this thing, and we have, do I have another button? Do I have another button? No? And we will have it. It's just so weird that this saying send information. Let me go over here. Value send. I go to my HTML. I just want to see if everything is looking the same here. And here we have, actually it has to say send. Something over there is not showing. But if I press here, okay, some information. And if I press send, something is and this happening in this case. Even though the type button, this is a button. In this case, we have to have it the type submit. You will have one difference between one and another one. We just have refresh some data, send in this case, and you will have submit. The type button, create a button, but the form needs something called submit. And when you have that one, you submit, and you have some information, here. You will have submit. It will be very often when we have this error, and I have committed so many times, that is why I'm showing you. And I want to make it clear here. Button. And you have it here. Okay. It's not even. Why is not showing me the button of the input button? Let me just use my VS Code. For some reason, it's not allowing me to have two buttons in the same. Let me just refresh it. Here we have it. This one is allowed. We have three different buttons. The first one, if we see it here, this is just a button. a normal button. If I press it, nothing is happening. Why? Because the button by itself, they don't have any action. But this one is the type submit. And the last one, in this case, let me just press the last one, is sending it. By default, and this is the behavior of HTML is, if you use the text button, if you use the tag button, by default, HTML will transform it into submit, okay? This is the difference between by default, this one, in this case, will transform it into submit. If you are using the input type, you will need to use submit. These two are equivalent. The first and the second one, they are equivalent. But the third one is not. The input type submit is just a button that we will be using in the future. But I want just to keep this in mind, okay? It will solve, it will help you some problems. It will solve you some inconvenience. Why? Sometimes we write like this, and it's looking good. Well, for example, if I go to my VS Code, and let's say like I am in the index, and I will open here and show preview. That is the other one. I have the 3 buttons. Look, it's looking good. This one. It's looking good. But if I press some, for example, here, nothing is happening. And it happened to me many times that I am trying to send a form, but I am using the type button. Then you have to understand that if you have submit, then that will be another story. If you have button, that will be another story. When these two, this input, submit and send, trigger this one or make those one to work. This one not. Okay. Just for you to keep it clear, if one day you see why my form is not working, please check if you have one input type button that is not going to work. The input type submit is the one that submit or send the form, and the buttons, every time that you have a button into a form, that button HTML transform it into submit. That is the behavior. That is the way that they work. I don't have anything to do in that case.
So I have a question.
Yes?
So Mario, can you click third button? So send number 3.
Yes?
Okay, why it's clearing? So is it clearing out or what is it? Is it resetting?
No. It's because I am sending it to second HTML. It's because here in this action. But if I just write, for example, this one is right in here. This one, in this case, you will just see it. But by default, I saw your question is absolutely right. Even if I just impose or anything, if I press send, it will clean it. Why? Because you take all the data and you are sending it. But by default, it will clean your form. It will clean absolutely your form. Even though you use in this case get, if you write some data here, let's say -1, and you press send again, it will do the same. Because the idea is like this: you fill the information, you send the data. It's suppose that you don't need it anymore because the data is going to the network. It will clean it. Anytime that you have all the information will clean it. That is the normal behavior.
Okay,
That is
Mario,
how.
so yeah, can you add the second button tag and name it clear? And how is gonna know? So one button is to submit, one button is to clear.
In that case, we will have to use JavaScript in order to take that button and tell it what to do in this case.
In that case, so inside of the button tag, we need to use JavaScript, right?
You can say it in that
On
way,
click.
yes.
Oh, okay, that on click.
On click, yes. That is the idea. When
But yeah, but with input. So if we need to use input so we need to type submit, but we need to reset, then just instead of submit, reset, right?
exactly.
Oh,
For
okay.
example, here inside the value, you will say reset, and then you will have the button saying in that case reset. And we can manipulate it with JavaScript. That will be for the future. And I'm sorry that I am saying plenty things. It will be for the future, but it will be in the future. Okay. Then we have it. The only thing important for me today is that you understand that input button is one thing and input submit and button. This one, these two are equivalent. These are different. Just in case one day that you wanted to, why this thing is not working, go and check there. And I hope that one will give you a hint why it's not working. Okay, let's go. Then we have something very important that is the label. That is the label. You know, if you see it, Mario, but I don't have here. I don't have here like some information. Ah, okay. In that case, we will just use something called label. And what we say it, we will need to think. The label is open close. And let's say I will say name. Okay. In this case, it's looking like it's working, but for semantic, we have to say, for where is this label? This label is for, and please, in this case, always use the name. For example, this one is for username. And now this tag is associated with that element. Is for accessibility, okay? That we add this for. This label is for this input, and we just use the input for accessibility. In the future, when we see accessibility, you will go and see it, why we need it in those cases. Just like that. And for example, if we want to continue here, I can just, let me just make it this one smaller. And I can add as many labels as I wanted. I can say label for age, and you will just have it in this case, age. Important for the label. For is connected with the name. For is connected with the name. If I don't connect it, nothing is going to happen. It will look in the same, but for accessibility, it will be important. Yes, guys?
Is it for only used for name or with ID too? I saw the ID used for that.
Yeah, it will be in this case, but usually the ID in this case, personally, I go with the name. Yeah,
Okay.
it will go in this case also with the ID. But as much you feel more comfortable one on another one. And you can have as many labels as you have it. And you have here labels. And that is what we have. There is nothing too much to talk about labels. They are like self-disclosed. This label is connected to another one. Even if you don't use it at the beginning, doesn't give you a lot of problem. It's fine, but it's good to do it. As I say, with the ID in this case, or in this case with the in this case the name. I tend to use the name, but the ID is also cool to be using it. Any other question for now?
Mario, I am sorry, but I don't understand what's the label.
The label is just the etiquette for the input.
Great explanation.
Yeah, it's just in this case what you have it over there. The majority of time is connected in this case with the ID. The majority of time is connected with the ID. But when you start working with JavaScript, usually you don't have IDs. Then you go with the name you have it. But both of them are in this case completely corrected. Mhm.
Mario,
Okay. Yeah.
can we work in HTML to make our password like open to see? Or it's with JavaScript?
Yes, it will be with JavaScript, but then adding some like this, like a show and no show, right?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you will have to do it with JavaScript because and the only thing that you will need to do is change this one, change the type. When it's showing is password, when it's not, it's text. And then that is the only magic that you are doing it.
I got
But
it.
with HTML, we cannot do it. Okay, good. Okay, that we have it here. Also links the label with okay. Some
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, one more question. So on the input, so can you go back? Yeah, with this, for example, I need to select this age related input with CSS. So how can I select this? So can I select it with a name age in CSS? Or no?
Yes, you can, but I think I haven't shown you the how to use it in this case. But you can select it with the name. But the majority of the time you will use it in this case like some attribute. Attribute equals name something, and you will be using it in this case.
Oh, okay.
But when we are working in JavaScript, the majority of the time you are selecting it that way. Just to not to put too many selectors, there is the division between the selector that you see it now, with the selector that you see it a little bit later. In this case, I will just suggest you go with the easy one for now and for the most common one.
Just to put class name, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go to the class name. But your question is absolutely fine. You can go with those kind of selectors. Okay, cool. Then we have something that is important, that is the require attribute. The require, who think like what is the require attribute? The require attribute just mean like a require. And I will show you what is happening. Here you don't see anything, but let me see. I added the require to the age, and I will hear Mario, nothing here, adding here, password. I will add some data here, and I will press send, right? I know that the last one is working. I press it in, okay. And that is the only thing that the require is doing. Not allow you to send the form if that specific element is not filled. Okay, I added something here. All cool. I don't have any inconvenience over there. But if I try to send it like this, I have somebody. It's the most simple validation that you can create it. We are not going into validation, but require, we just said, okay, you know what? I need you to give me some information. Now, for example, and you can use it basically everywhere. You have it here. I will just refresh it, send it, and it's telling me which one is required. Mario, what happened if you have multiple requires? Okay, that could be a question that we have. We said send, it will tell you the first one. I will fill it. Then I go to the second one. Then it's telling me fill it. And now I send it the require because sometimes you don't need all the information, right? You just need 2, 3 fields and the other one are good to have, but some are not. If you have multiple required, the first require will be showing it, and then the other one will be waiting till the validation is passing from the top to the bottom. not much science in this case. And yes, the required you add it into the input. You don't add it into how can I say, into the label, and it's just like that. It's just the word require over there. You can use it in any place that you need it. That is an input. You can try it, please. I am going too fast. I'm going okay. If someone is thinking that I'm going too fast, text me in chat and tell me, hey guy, keep it easy or whatever. You can send me message private. If you don't understand something, if you don't want to talk to me for something, you can send me a private message or you can Slack me. I usually have the Slack open just in case. And you can ask your question anonymous. I saw that sometimes we don't want just to talk. It's absolutely fine for me. But don't keep your question for just because, okay? Just send it to me. I am giving you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And please try to use this, try to finish copying it or try to use this require, see what is working, what is not working. So far you have, yeah. Okay, I will do it. Thank you so much. Roxana. Okay, I will just go over there. That is. And if something is needed to repeat it, tell me. I will repeat it. We are just starting then. I just tend to talk a lot because I think that the class is a little bit boring. If I am just showing the light, waiting, or maybe it's just my personality. Okay. And the code, I am sending it through the chat. Just in case if someone is needed. Continue. This is the require attribute. Just you add the require, nothing extra is needed, just require. Sometimes in this case, we will need to, if you see it so far, we have these elements, but they are, how can I say it? They are small. We have another one that in this case is called text area. Okay, text area. And I will just add it here. The text area, I will just over here. This one, first one is not close. You have to close it, one and another one. And it's a multiple line. By default, in this case, will go, and it will create it as many lines as you want. It's also a responsive element. If you click here, you can make it bigger or smaller, bigger or smaller. And it has, in this case, the majority of time, right? Let's keep it easy. And let's say we will add an ID. The ID will be, I don't know, something like information. There we will have, in this case, name, well, information. And two elements that are cool here are one that is called how many rows do you want? I want 5 rows, or I want 15 rows, or I want 45 rows, or I want like just 10 rows. And we can have this case columns. How many columns that I want? I want 5 columns. No, no, no. You know, I want 500 columns. I want 50 columns. And you can just create it a little bit bigger. For now, we will keep that the label for will be connected. In this case, let's call this information. The label, we will connect it to the ID information. Label will be connected with the ID in order to keep it like a standard. I will not start using JavaScript behavior here. But we have it.
Mario,
Yes.
why did you add ID in text area? Why?
Just because to keep it, in this case, Kai was telling us that we can use the for with the ID, and that is the normal behavior, honestly. The for is connected in this case with the ID. Look, is the ID iterable. That is why it's usually connected to ID. But we can just use it as attribute. And the attribute, in this case, name, we can connect it, but this is more like the way that you use it in React. Then I don't think is correct that I am mixing two concepts. Then we will connect it that the label is connected with the ID, because that is the normal behavior that we have it in HTML. Just to not to, how can I say it? That we have it. Look, this we have it is the element with the first element in the document with ID that is matching the value for that we have it here. Yeah. That we have it over there. Okay. Any question in this case so far?
I have a question. I hope it's not them, but the positioning of my label over here, the information, it goes for some reason under the box or like near the box at the end. How can I move it to an upper level, like to be on the top of it instead of at the bottom?
By default, they are in this case in light element. You will have a couple of solution in this case. One of them will be just using a BR. That will be the easy, because by default, label is just an inline element. You can change in this case like the behavior, or you can use a one BR. That will make the trick.
Okay, it worked. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Mario, so
Yeah.
usually do we need to put label and input in one div to use TSS?
Yes, or you can just use it the other one that you can use it is like a connected inside, and they will be in this case working like how in this case Elsara wanted to. And this one is absolutely fine to use it, the input inside the label. And in this case, if you add it inside, you will not need to use the input. But this is just styling. The standard way is like this. That is the standard. But you can just use it inside, for example. Instead of having the label here, you can easily take the label inside. And it's not completely necessary to use it inside a div. But that is what we will be using so far. It will be a div. This is another solution.
Yeah.
The standard way, remember that right now we are using HTML5. Then there are something that we can modify, but in the standard HTML is this one. And let's keep it like this for now. But we feel more in this case with more knowledge, we add more stuff. I mean, there is always something that we can add it, but we over here. The checkbox in this case are also, how can I say it? Very important that we have it. This is the one that I added here, right? Where I have it, this one. This is the type checkbox. They just allow you to select things. There is not nothing more that we can talk about checkboxes. The radio button. Well, this one are very similar. And guess what? The only thing that you need to do it, they are very similar to the input. I will just copy it. And instead of checkbox, you just say radio. And instead of having one checkbox, you will have this little guy. But there is one difference. It just have the option check. It doesn't have in this case the other. But Mario, what happened if, for example, this one is called accept? Let me just say that this one is saying something like, I don't know. Let me say, what can be a checkbox in this case? Yes or not? Okay, let's call it this case. Yes. Yes, and I will just share here yes. I will just write yes. And I will create another one. But instead of having name yes, I will say accept. Accept. And accept. And this one will say not. Not. Now I will press not. And I will pass to yes. Ah, look, they are changing. They are connected. They are the same name. When they are connected, in this case, is a select element for multiple options. That is what I'm doing. If you accept here, accept, they have the same name. Look what happened. I can pass it. But what happened if I say accept not? I just adding something here. No. Both are, you can select both because they have different name. If they have the same name, HTML say, okay, they are the same element, they are the same option, right? They are the same, okay, then you interact. And if you have another one, let's say like here, and you call it maybe, and they say maybe, maybe. Is this going to work or not? What do you think?
It will be separate.
It will be separate because in this case, you need to use it the same. Here. Actually, they are very useful. In that case.
If we give them the same ID instead of the names, it's gonna work the way you showed us.
Oh, ID, right? Let's use the same ID. It's interesting, and why not? The same ID. We save it. Yes.
No, it's not gonna work, yeah.
It's not because the name is the name of the field. The name of the ID is the identifier of the tag. This ID identify the tag like that. This input is this ID, but the name is the identification for the element. what the field. Okay, all of this belongs to the same field. And then we have that like a, okay, the name is, did you see it? The name.
Oh, you mean it's gonna be like accepted and then the value, yes, not, and maybe gonna be like hang, no, hang, like you know, like the map, you know.
Exactly. You will be sending it in this
Yeah.
case. But here I need something extra that is called value, but I am not getting into the value stuff. For example, value, this will be
Yeah.
yes.
Accepted
This
and
will,
gonna be yes, and then
yeah.
likewise.
Then they will have the value not. And then this case, the value equal, maybe. And there is a lot of things that we can discuss it. I am trying to keep it as simple as possible. But think, when you are sending the data, these three, it will just send one. It will say accept, no. Accept, maybe. Accept, yes. And that is how it will be appearing in this case. Important part of the radio buttons. They have to have the same information. Any other question?
Oh.
So Mario, when we are working with checkbox, we can select some multiple checkboxes, right? And to send it. How the data is stored for the checkboxes, for example.
Oh, no. The important is, in this case, the name. If you have, in this case, the checkboxes at the beginning, this one will be a problem because I am sending two things with the same name. But you can, how is it stored? Usually it's true or false, like a yes or not, no more.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is what we have. It's usually yes or false, and this one is a little bit different. Or for example, in this case, like we can also pass some values or whatever. But for now, let's keep it like a true or false in this one. Yes or not. Yes or not. Okay. Let's pass a little bit from what we have. We have the radio buttons. And we have this called like a field set. Field set is the div for elements. Let's say like you have, do you know that sometimes the age, this one are related, right? Are related. Because they are related, most of the time you will use something that is called field set. Field set. There is nothing in this case that and you are just using the field set. And here we will have something called legend. And in this legend is just this information that you have here. And what you add here will be something like, for example, personal data. Personal data. And you are having like some BR. One thing, this doesn't change anything what you are sending into the form. It's just the way that we group elements in a form and to provide this caption that we have here. Nothing more. Just visualize good. And for the developer, it's nice to see, okay, then all this information is related. But default, you will not really see, for example, if I go into the code or when I receive the data, it will not change it, but it's just doing this. And this is also part of the semantic HTML and just that one thing. Unite or like in this case, group related elements and you can give this this caption or this description to the form. Okay, all of these are the information. And for example, I don't know it. This this another one is another data. Then you can add another field set, and you just have here. Everything that is inside the field set will have this square and the legend, say like another data, for example. And this is the way that we are just like grouping data in this case. There is nothing much to say with CSS. You can make it beautiful or everything that we have it. But honestly, there is not, how can I say it? It's to grouping information. We don't have much stuff. You can completely pass CSS into it, but it's just, for example, if let's say these tags are not enough descriptive, you can also add this field set in order to describe much, describe more the information that you have here. Then is another one that we have it. I would like you to try it. I will give you, I don't know, 2 minutes. If you need it, just try it on. And as I am saying, there is nothing other science. Basically the field set that you can have it. The only one, but I didn't show you yet, is for example this disable. Let me just get it this one and put it here. And if you see it, I can disable big pieces of data right away with field set, because and this is the only attribute basically that you can pass disable, and the only thing that is doing it is not allowed. Right now I can write, if all this data I wanted to disable, I just say disable, and now I cannot type anything there. Is also disable, that is this tag, you can just use it the same as a require. Okay. It will nothing make sense to make disable. Okay. Doesn't allow you to write anything. And the
Mark,
field set, yes.
yeah, I didn't get the property value in radio. For what did you add the value?
For what you are sending to the server, because someone was asking me, and how you know what you are sending, because all of them are radio button, they are true, false, or everything. You can add the value here, and when you send it through the network, it will say like accept equal yes.
Just additional information. Okay.
Yeah, it's additional information, but it's nothing to pay too much attention for now. When I say it's good to know, but not required to know.
I think we are a little bit touching JavaScript with this.
No, nothing. This is just everything that I am doing right now is HTML. Just I want to give you a little bit extra, not just okay, this is the tags and just write it like this. I want you to understand why we are using it and what is better right now that in the, because in the, I am just, let's keep it like this. If someone saying like it's too difficult, I can go a little bit less and it's fine. And when something is required or you must know it, I will tell you this one you have to remember. For example, from the input, as I said at the beginning, if you know text and number, good to go. If you know that the name is that is differentiating the data, go. If in this case you know that the tag, that the label tag is connected to the ID, that's it. The difference between the text area and the input text is the text area is just bigger, and this one is just smaller. Like if you need one line, if you need multiple lines, use a text area. But actually, I can write here whatever I want. There is not a problem. You can just add a very long text. It's just not comfortable. That is the only difference between one and another one. Oh, interesting.
But how we can
And
restrict the number of characters in the input?
JavaScript.
Oh,
But
okay. I thought
let's
you have some attributes for specify the values. No?
input, like for example, like
Like
a
placeholder or
max
name, or max
eh,
size, you know?
max length. No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, exists this one that, for example, we can do it, and you are absolutely right. But the majority of the time you will say it with JavaScript, but you can say max length 5. Let's say it like this, and then in general, this one will tell me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then doesn't allow me to rest. And then you also have the other one that they are validation. They are mean length, and let's say like the mean length is 2. For example, if I write just one thing here, and I try to send it, let me see, let's say the minimum length is 2. There are a lot of attributes that you can use it, but we can restrict it with the max length.
We
55.
also have the mean length, right?
Yes,
no?
here I have it. I
Oh,
already
okay.
wrote. Yeah, you have the means
Okay.
and the max that you
And
can
do we
be
have
using.
attribute quick question about hiding the text in the input? You know, like we type the password and there is only stars. Mm,
I don't remember, but I don't remember from the top of my head, but I think that exists something that is like a mask or something. In the break, I can look for it. It's not a problem, but I cannot recall it from the top of my head. Which is like a
okay,
password.
thank you.
Yeah, with star. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, let me see. Uh-huh. They are saying that we can do this. They are saying like depending on the user access minimum. Mhm. By the I'm sorry, I am not sharing what I am what I am looking. Here I was looking at input password. They're saying that we can have this star and with dot. This character will vary on the operating system and the user. But I am sure that with JavaScript we can do it in this case those star. We have here pattern. Maybe it's that one. No. This is for checking placeholder, create only size of current password, new password. Nope. I don't see it like specifically. But if I find it, I will tell you. But so far, no. If someone find it and know how to do it, it will be fine. But this star is supposed to depending on your operating system that you have.
Mario, will you show us in this class how to style input? Because
A little bit.
yeah, I still didn't get which one is better. Like put it in div or put input in label and give the class to label. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay, let's take some break. And when we arrive, the presentation is almost over. We are here. I think like I have like a 4 more. 1, 2, this one. Okay, 3 more slides I have. And then we go a little bit. I think we can do this one. There will be the first one. This one, if you see it, it's the same thing that I have been showing you. The text input, the color input, the password. This one like a password placeholder, read, disable, that you have seen it, text area. The drop down, I haven't shown you. There are like a 2, 3 over there. See you in a minute. I will stop recording. Okay, we continue here. They are basically, what it was. Okay, we have in this case the font input. There is not in this case too much that I can say on a input. Like what? Mhm. Then in this case we have it. Let's say that you will have an input. The type will be telephone. What else we can have in this case? ID equals phone or phone number or what we wanted to add it. Then the next one would be the name. The name would be phone. And usually you will have this pattern, right? Like placeholder 1, 2, 3. And what means the pattern? This crappy thing that you are seeing over here is called regex or regular expression. This one that is here is saying, I want this number to have numbers 3, then 1 dash, then numbers, in this case, 2 numbers, and then another 3 numbers. And here will be where do I have? Then here we have the placeholder. We say 1, 2, 5, something, 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 something. And if I wanted to send it, please write it in the right form. Without JavaScript, this will be very complicated because usually here is saying you write 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, dash, then another 2 numbers, 2, then dash, then 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. And then this one, it will pass. Do I have to add? I am not teaching you today regex. This pattern is very common and it's just saying, I want X amount of numbers and this is HTML. This is nothing related with JavaScript, just in case you wanted to know it. Not needed to know it, but we will study regex, like a regex later. Regex are regular expression that we use for validation or finding pattern inside thing. This is just a pattern, nothing more. For our purpose, we don't even need it to add it because we cannot manipulate it. But that's part of I have to show you as much as I can. You can have that one. And that one is using for validation, and the validation use something called regex, that is out of the scope of the class today. Okay.
What does mean the curly 3 in curly braces?
That means like I need 3 numbers. This one means
that's the count number.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's
This is
nothing
3.
special.
No, 3 numbers. Then they say 2 numbers.
Yeah,
Then they say 3 numbers. That's it.
it's not hard.
Yeah, but for now, I think that is not important. It's good to know it, not important for this exactly moment. It's just like you are looking for this telephone has to be in this way, right? Like 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 3 numbers. You can say like a 5 numbers, something, something, something. There's a pattern. I will just remove it, but I wanted to keep it into the recordings. Okay, that is the font, nothing more. And Color picker, we saw it. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I will recap right now in order to know what we have. And I will just tell you the important, or in this case, which one are the most, and then we will go with some CSS over this thing. Today, we are checking that forms are the way that we receive data. How we are sending data to other people. I am typing and I am sending data. The information that we are adding to the forms, they have two principal elements, the form and the button. Right? The button has a property that is called submit. In another word, send. Just they call it submit. We can create the button submit with a simple button, or we can do it with the input type submit. These two are similar. And this guy is different. This is just a simple button that, as Kai told me, can be using something like when you click this, it will not be sent. It will be like, for example, reset, right? Another action. Then the action will just usually go in something like this. The input in this case, is the way that we receive data. It's the way that we can give information to the website or whatever. Everything that we see is in the internet is an input. But the input has this one property or attribute that make it change their behavior. The way that they behave are 100% related with their type. For example, if I need just text, if I need in this case a number, if I need a checkbox, if I need a radio or whatever, there are a lot of type of input. I am just trying to show you the common ones. That is the one that I will tell you that they are that you need to know it. The first one will be text. Honestly, without text, the majority of time you will use in this text. The other one is number and checkbox and radio buttons. If we go and for example, to any page of internet and we just write something like, for example, input types, for example, here. It will be started showing the button, checkbox, color, date and time, email, file, hidden image, month, number, password, radio, range, reset, submit, telephone, text. Oh, look, exists one that is called reset. I didn't know it. Okay, telephone, time, ID, week. So, can you imagine? I will not be able to go over all this without you to start. Then we have attribute, accept, all, but the attributes that there are more common that we will need it for now will be, in this case, required. Read only is almost the same. The value is not editable. I mean, you have some value, you have it. And SRC that you know it, step, values. All of those things, they are not needed for you to memorize them. That is not needed. But I will suggest you that something like the basic structure, learn it. This one, for example, label. Label, the label. The label, and here the input, right? Okay, this one, we know it, input. The input, the minimum that we have it is the type. And the type, and the name, and the ID. Okay? This is it. The label has one attribute called for. We will continue. This ID. And this ID will be connected to this ID. The name is how we send the data. For example, this one, the username. And the type is how we want this input be. I want this input be, for example, whatever you added here, no? We just added a button, a checkbox. You will find it here. What I am looking for, I need a time. Okay, I need a time. Then you can just, in this case, create it. Okay, and look, here you have time. I didn't show you, but I think it's logical. If you need something that is a time, it will be okay. No. I need something else. I need an email. Okay. Then it will check what is happening here. For example, here. No, look, an email has to be with the ad. No, you know what? I need this to be a file. Okay. Choose a file. And you will have it here. Don't get in this case focus in remembering all of the what you have here, because I'm not sure, maybe you are smarter or everything, but I don't have enough brain to remember all of these things in my head. But sometimes what I needed, I go here and okay. Yeah, daytime and local. And you will start looking around which one is the one that goes better for what you needed. Okay. That is the thing. Like we are developer, we use Google, we use everything, but we need to have the basic structure in our head. What do we need? The important is to know that is an input, that we know that the data type is what changed the input, and that the name is what we send it, and the ID is for the label. I don't want to remember the ID. Okay, remove this, and add the label inside. And you say label. Which one is better? No, I want you to keep in mind that there are just options. The good or the bad option is depending what you are doing so far. That part is important. Other part important in this case, the input radios. The input radio, they are connected by the name. They are connected by the name. That means like if I have this input radio, if they have the same name, they will be connected. The input is just a circle that we can select one option. Most of the time, for the input radio, we will need a value. Why? Because if we have more than two options, the value will be necessary. If you have two options, you can say, like, for example, open and close or something like that, yes or not, true or false, that this is the most common in computer science. If you have more, just add this etiquette value, and that will help you to have that information. And these other ones are very beautiful, but they are specialized that we have type, range, and when you have it, okay, I will use range, get used to go here, and you say range, and you can say HTML input, for example. And here you will have all the information related with this. Where you have it here, the following attributes apply to the range or not to apply to the range. And here you will have more data. Do we need to go to all over it? No, it's not necessary. With this one, if you know that you can modify the type of input, you know how to use the label, and you know that this submit button is connected with the action and the method. The action is where we want to send the information. For example, I want to send this one to google.com because this form is sending information to Google. Why? No idea, but you are just sending information to Google. Then this method is how you want to send the information. You want to send it in get, that is in the inliner, like in your URL, or you want to send it in this case, post. the post method that are included in the body. And they both go to the server. There are nothing inconvenient over here. But the get, you may have one problem, that is this one. If you pass everything through the URL, imagine if you are using Russian, that would be looking a little bit difficult to read it or anything, or in Chinese, or I don't know, that happen. And the last one that we need here is this, that is called require. Require means this input cannot be sent if it's not fulfilled. You have to have some information over there. If you don't have information over there, the form will not work. Okay, and you are saying this is required. Aside of that, most of the time you will have to add something like a star over there to say, okay, this is required. It's just like a visual things to, for example, to tell the people like how can I say it? This is like okay, this is required, and we write something like oh, okay, this element is required for one or B reason. The field set is not only that a div for input. It's just a div for input, and the only and you can use in this case the legend. The legend is just this information that you have here on the top. This one, this data, that is the legend that we are having over there. Basically, that is the review for what we have seen. Before going a little bit with CSS and all of those stuff, do we have any question with this part? What I mentioned at the very end is what I think like it was the important thing that I talked today. The other part is like a lot of blah blah blah, but good to know, not required to survive.
I think everything
Elsa?
is clear.
Okay. Elsa, all five? Okay. Sarina, Ruslan, Kai, Isabek, whoever who has question, just tell me. I agree, Mariana, Isada. Okay, cool. Then I was okay. Okay, then let's start. Okay, thank you, Elsa. I appreciate it. And if I didn't mention you, we have the practice one. There is nothing. That is the same thing that we have been doing today. Let's go with the practice two. And this will be your homework. One thing, when you see the homework, remember that Saturday you can go. The only thing that I didn't show you is this one. And I will just tell you why, because I want you to investigate what is this. If you don't have it for my class for Friday, I will do. I will show you again. I already have seen to my note that I will show, but I would like you to try to figure it out. You can go here to the practice, for example, here, and okay, here we have it, to the practice. Sometimes if you don't know what is something, you can just come here, get this element. Oh, where I have it, okay. This is just an image, okay. But here in this practice, you can go and, what is this? It's a select button. Okay. I would like you to read how to use the select. That is everything. Just for fun to try to check how it's going. Okay. Let's start with this. Okay, with this another one. This will be our, let's say, like a project for today. Nothing fancy. Everything we will just have it as simple as possible. And that will be in this case. Okay. What do we have it in this moment? This one, how many elements do we have here? What elements can you see in this form? For example, Amantur, which elements can you see in this first field set that we have here? Which type of input we can use it for this, for example?
Text.
Yes, we can use an text, okay? Isabel, which one we can use for the second one?
Radio input.
Yes, that is perfect. Let's go to the radio. Okay. Let me just see because I sounded you. Shanat, what input do you think we can use here?
Text.
One text, yes. Actually, we can use a text, but just we will use in that moment something that is called email, just because it fixes a little bit more, but
Yeah.
it's a text. But it's a text. It's completely a text. Let me just pass you this information into the Slack channel in order for you. Okay. I will just paste it here in the repo. Okay, I will save it. I'm not sure why this. Let me just go to Questpac. Then I just wanted to send it to you. I have it with HTML. Save. There you have. Please let me know if the code, did you have it and it's all over there? We will start here. As always, let's create, in this case, one styles.css, and we will need to connect those styles here. Just style. It's not working. Why? Because I have to use link, and I need to connect it with my styles. Most of the time, because I don't trust myself, I just always do like this: body, color, red. And I start doing, okay, if this thing is working, but I think it's not working. Or I have to replace this one. Because I have to say background color, right? Background color. Okay, then everything is connected. I know that my CSS is working and I can start working over here. Our project is this one, FishNet reservation page. We have one big deal that has this like a border dashed. Then we have the second one that it will be a file set, and we go over there. Okay. Let's just create, for example, one H1. Let's call it, for example, form fitness. Okay. Then it was one div that it will be the container. Then we have a form. That is the form that we have it. Then inside we will have a button. That this button would be equal submit. that I have here. This is the button. Then I have one file set, nothing fancy. File set. The file set has some, for example, in this case, something that is called legend. And that legend said member demography, okay. Member demography. Oh, I wrote it more or less. Then I think inside that one, we have the name. That in this case, I will say label 4. We continue adding the other information. There was one input. That input will have the ID, something, will have the name, something, and if we see it, that's all. And then there will be,
Type.
yes,
Type.
yeah. Look, I forgot the type. Okay, thank you. Yes, I forgot the type. But sometimes, and in this case, I type text and the ID equals name. Okay, and therefore it will be name, and we have it here name. Okay, then we have the second one. Okay. Okay, okay. Let me just see. In this case, what do we have it over there? Okay. Then we have are you a member? Okay. Are you a member? Then it will be are you a member? And we'll have here another label. Another label. Then it will be like something like a member. And what we can see, are you a member? And we have two inputs, right? Input type radio, member, name member. And we have here two. Because we have a radio, let's not forget that we need to add it, for example, in this case, let's add it a value. The value, yes, and the value, not. Vector was asking you, Mario, what is the best way to do this element? There is not a best way, but there are like, how can I say it? Like the common way. Most of the time, what you usually do it is you take it, this one, and we add it into a div. Why? Because the div will create it, in this case, the extra line that we needed in that case, and you will have the other elements in this case. Then you will be creating, in this case, divs for every element that you basically will have it inside one or another. This will be one thing that we can do it. And when you have, we can also add it inside those levels. This level, it will be the same. For example, here will be the same, or you can have it like this. Any of those will be absolutely fine for you to use it. let's move a little bit because there was one question from Kai that was asking me, Mario, can I say, I think it was Kai, can I select it by name? Yes, you can. There are different ways. For example, let's go with a class. With a class, in this one, let's say that the class is full, just like full link. And we just say, for example, full, that it will be a class, let's say, with, and let's say a 90%. There you have, okay, it got 90%, right? Got 90%. You are using a class one way. There is another way. There is another way. It tends to be for some people thinking like, oh, that one is cleaner and I think it is better or whatever. But the name here is name, right? It's a full, how I name it. But we can say input. And that one, we can select it for the attribute. I want the name equals name, and this will, in this case, will also be, and I can add it 90%. You can basically pass any attribute over there and it will be working. Say like, for example, instead of this one can be, for example, type, or it can be not the same, but the majority of time you will be using this one. Input, and this is an attribute. The input for attribute, what you have. If someone asks Mario, which is the best one? Some people will argument in this one, some people will argument in this one. Take the one that you feel more comfortable with to be working on. Some developers think like, oh, because I am not adding here an extra class, that is better, right? Not necessary in this case. Feel free to use the one that you feel make the job for you, okay? I will keep it here, but as a commentary, I will give it to you. Yes, absolutely, Serena. You can use in this case, the ID. Yeah, why not? The only different here. So let me just remove this one. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Everything that we haven't seen before, everything is in this case correct. In this case, it will be. Okay. I am writing it wrong. How we write in this case the IDs? I'm doing it bad here. What is correct? What I am failing, because the attribute has to be with, right? With 90%. It will be absolutely the same, Serena. I mean, there is no limit in what you want to do it. And which one is more important, which one is less important? Let's say like we have here 70%. Let's just go here 70%. And this guy here got 90%. ID go over, okay, 70%. Oh, let's see, 50%. Okay. The ID go. Let's see if it's the class. Look, this one go over the class, but it's got less than ID. Then the only thing that you will have it is you have an extra selector that is bigger, or like this is stronger than the class. That's all. And for the other question that in this case was giving me basically vector. I'm sorry, I don't have a specific question. Which is the best way to do it? It will be like a very subjective solution for me.
Yeah, I got it, Mario. I think like
Okay.
if I have a like same style for a few inputs, I will use a class. If I have a style for just the only one, I think I will use just ID. So yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, but this one is good to know it. Just sometimes we want to be very specific and we don't want to add a class. Feel free to use this model. It's just quite different that we have it. Then we have this legend, right? We have the legend, and maybe what do we do? It says text align, center. We add it to the center. Everything that you are seeing here is absolutely the same. Okay. What about the field set? Okay. Field set. Okay, the field set in this case, I wanted like a width, for example, 50%. Then you have this case, the 50%. How about height? 80%. That means that the field set is either inline, right? How we can change that one? How can I give it this property, like the ability to use the height? What do we use it in order to change one inline to something else, to like a block or inline block? Okay, display. Okay, let's go here and sync it. And we said display inline block. Height 80%, that is relative. Let me just go in this case with 900 pixels, and then we have it. The relatives don't work with height. Then we here, if we want something to go over it, we will have to put the pixels. Okay, the pixels that we have. And this is inline block. That is why we have it. That is why the submit went over there. If I change this to a block, block means inline block give you the top and the bottom, give you the ability. The block, in this case, create a new line. And when you were seeing the flows, you saw that part, I can assume it. Then we have to be careful using this inline block sometimes, because we just, oh, let's put it inline block. But when inline block, then if you still have a space on the right, the other element will go over there. Just to be aware of on that
Mario,
date. Yes.
if I will not use height, the height will depend of the content, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. All the time depends on the content that you have it over here. If, for example, if we have another one, it will be growing depending on what you have it. Everything will be just fitting as much as possible.
Yeah, I just did one problem in my last homework. Yeah, yeah, I'll say later. Okay.
Okay. Then we have that information, and we're thinking, okay, I need everything to the center. Okay. I think in those cases, I can add just one class and like I say, container. And those container. And in this container, we can say text align, center. I want everything on the center. Maybe we want something like, for example, margin auto could be also margin auto that you can have here in order to get this. Then we can say width, let's say 500 pixels that we have here. Yeah. The container, maybe we add this little friend. Here inside that we have it. It's not looking in this case good.
We can give it to body text align center.
Oh, okay, to the body. Okay, to the body. Okay. is also some problematic over there, right? How we send that div, or is already centered? No.
We need to margin up to better.
Because our width 50%.
Okay, let's go with it. Div, and this is the container, right? This container with 50%, with 50%. Okay, I give this margin auto. Yeah, it's like, but I think this with 50% is the one that is making not looking good. As you see it, I don't know all these properties that we are having. Is sometimes you will have to be guessing around or remembering what you wanted or what is in this case is needed. I would like you, this will be your homework that I have it here. Everything that you have seen it is inline, spaces, information, you have it here. You don't have to try to make it as simple as possible. If you think, oh, it's too difficult, just divs, it's fine. Use a table, it's fine. I don't have any problem with it. The important here is this phone, maybe it's not a text and you put the telephone. This name is a text, the email, for example, an email, the grade is a grade, this is a date. These checkboxes, this checkbox, and this one that I let you to use. Everything is just in the center. Nothing more. Doesn't have to work, doesn't have to cancel, doesn't have to do anything. Maybe you put a little, a beautiful background over there, and that will be everything that I will be asking you. And the homework is here. For example, if you go to course and you go to SciTech, and you go to SciTech, to HTML forms, homework, this one is the one that I will suggest you to do it, to practice. And for today, do we have questions so far?
Excuse me, sir. I just got only one question.
Yes, please, Ivan.
When you were typing an HTML code, sorry. I mean, like, when you were writing HTML code for the previous practice, yeah, this one. When you were typing, you didn't use BR, like new line. But anyway, your like, for example, the next input type was already in the like below line in the next line.
Because I use a div.
Okay, but okay. So do we have to use a div for every element, like for every? I mean, for every input.
It will be up to you. Which one is easier for you? I usually when I am working, I use a div. That is the easy way. Or you can use a BR, or you can use in this case inline block and apply it to the label. Feel free to use anyone, but this one is like a very common way to do it. This one that I show you here. This is like the most meh way to do it, but it works, and I use it every day.
Like, is using div and BR in purpose of new line? Like, is it?
No.
Is it like good or bad way? Like, we should avoid doing this, or it's okay? Like, we can. use it all the
I
time.
think that I think BR is the one that you will have to avoid it. I sometimes I use it because it's an example. It's just easier to do it. But when you are working, they are just thinking in this way.
You use a div, if you use a div, for example, I can just add a class here, like my div, and I can say my div input, and I can apply the class direct to that element. It's just giving you more tools, nothing more. I mean, I will not tell you use this one or use this one, but this one give you some extra stuff.
Okay, so it's okay to use div all the time, yeah? Like
Yeah,
in future as well. Okay, got it. Then thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I think for today is everything. I'm not, it's supposed that you have to have extra class, but as you can understand, I will not stay here for 1 extra hour because I need to also do a couple of things. Let me just see, Yildiz, you will stay here for if they have some question or something.
Yeah, if just in case if they have question.
Oh, okay. Okay, then guys, thank you so much. If you have questions, you can text me. I will try to not to ignore you that much and sometimes to answer you. Next week, next Friday, you have class with me. It will nothing to be with CSS or anything. It will be Git. Then bring a good cup of coffee or a good tea in order to have a class that may be interesting. Okay, see you.
Thank you, Mario.
See you,
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much. See you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mhm. Hi everyone. How are you guys?
Hi, Jildiz. How are you? Good?
Hi. Doing good, thank you. If you have questions regarding your homeworks, you can ask.
Yeah, I have one question with my homework.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
with employee card.
Mhm.
So, oh,
I'm
was it
sorry,
there?
can I interrupt you for a second? I'm sorry, can on the sheet, on the Excel sheet that you guys shared with us, there's a one-on-one like sessions that we can have with you, right?
Yeah.
Do we just have to write down what time is good for us, or do we talk to you first? How does it work?
Yeah. I will share. So from today you can book. So yeah, and just let me know, okay? But today I will do also announcement, and we will have one-on-one meetings. So if with any questions regarding homework or something like this, you can join and we can discuss.
Okay, sounds awesome. Thank you. That's all the questions that I had. Have a good night. Bye bye.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yes, Victor, you can go ahead.
Yeah, if guys don't have like questions, because it's
Do you
take like 5 minutes or more.
No, you can go ahead. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay, just it's just move. Okay. So, 1 second. I'll open this VS Code. Okay, I have a like employee card. So last question. It's just a second. Okay, look. Let me just open. It's not okay. Let me just remove it for now. Okay, without this margin bottom, I need to make a like space between icon,
Mhm.
little bit more
And
space. Actually, I have a div for all icons, which calls icons. So if I wanna give a more space, I should have the margin bottom to div, right? For the div.
yeah, to the container.
Yeah, I did it. Like, look at it. It's margin bottom and like 20 pixels, and it's works a
Doesn't.
little bit different. Yeah, I have a margin right here. You can see it. Yeah, but the border didn't move at all. But when I gave the margin bottom same thing to the icon, like every icon, yeah, it's helped me. But yeah, I can just release white.
What's the height of your car?
How?
The height of your whole border.
Yeah, my
Whole like car.
I didn't give high. Yeah, I wanted my high depends on of my content. Yeah, I didn't give the high. So I just don't understand why I gave the margin bottom to the div and this didn't work.
But what if you gave a little bit more than 20, like 100?
Like for the div, you mean? Not
No,
right.
margin bottom.
No,
Margin
what
bottom.
is margin? Margin outside the
Mhm.
element.
Actually, it's not because icon, it's in the main div. It's all card, and my icon inside.
Okay.
Yeah, and inside the div, I have one more div. This
So you are giving for icons margin, right?
Yeah, actually, in Logic, it should works with div. I have a div that you can see. Yeah, this is okay. This is my div. This is like you can see. Right now, yeah, I just find other option, but I don't know why it doesn't work with my div. It's look good, but
Add more than 20. Look what we will see.
yeah, I think you saw the margin, not bottom, top, right? Okay, let's see.
Bottom 100.
Okay.
1000 doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, look, nothing. I have a visible margin. Just a second. Yeah, it's invisible margin, but it didn't.
Oh, maybe it depends on the icon sizes, because if you specify the size, it's gonna be bigger just.
Yeah. I actually gave
Is
this
your icons inline block or inline?
my icons. I gave this only to make the
Give it space around. It's gonna be around like
right here.
yeah, space around. Yeah.
Okay. And let me just
Let's see.
Nothing, and I will give it to the icon again. Yeah, same thing.
I think it's just because you don't have a content. It's like it's shrimps. That's why it shrimps.
Like in general, this margin should move all my card because it's not padding. It's let me just okay, guys. Let me just try.
If you give border, I think it should work. Let's say.
If I will use the padding bottom, because it's yeah, it's just I was not padding.
Oh, it was padding then margin.
Yeah, because it's moving my items from the card border. Yeah. Okay.
Well done, Victor.
Guys, did you
You
make
resolved it by
because
yourself.
I didn't find where I have to submit this homework. I didn't find this in the portal. Or just
Okay.
I submitted for the third project as a third one. Yeah.
It's your,
I don't know.
But
I just submitted like that.
Yeah, I thought about it, but it was different. Okay.
You can this one. No need to submit because we don't have this homework in our project.
Just
It's just from class.
Okay. Thank you guys for your help.
I have a question. Some problems.
Thank you, Victor. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, share So I have problems with my Z index and the homework card. So
Mhm.
so let's open it. Where was that? What was that? Oh, here, right. So
Mhm.
I can specify the like width of the circle, you know? Like sometimes it's gonna be like a little bit more. It's not round, perfectly round, you know? Some if you give it like okay, picture.
Yeah, I had the same problem. Yeah, фото не подставляет само по себе.
Yeah. Sometimes it's round, sometimes it's more like a circle,
Mm.
you know? Let's give it it's a CSS, right?
Are you
Where
talking
was
about
the image?
radius?
Okay. Let's give it right here. Oh, you know
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
how to specify it.
Maybe we should give, did you give some CSS to the image first? Let's see.
Image. Where was that?
It's on bottom. I saw.
Oh, photo image. You're right.
GLS. Yeah,
And
I had the
Width.
same.
maybe because, yeah, with the 100%,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
if you will give in something in pixel. it will-
But I wanna be it round. Like, and how to like
Give 100%.
You
Right.
remember, we shouldn't give width and height for the image. We should give only once. So the system automatically can adjust the size of the image.
Mhm.
So how I can do it round?
Try to give 100. Just try. Well, let's see. We'll have-
This one you are opening through here on
Oh,
code
yeah,
pane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mhm.
Give radius 100.
No, nothing changed.
Or radius 100. Let's try.
Where?
Yeah, the first one.
Maybe
100. Just 100.
it's gonna be rounded. Okay.
Without percent, do you mean, say, Victor?
Without
100,
Where?
100 pixel.
Yeah.
In photo
Height?
image, line 31. Could you please try not 100%, just pixel?
Pixel. No.
Pixels?
100. 100.
Mm.
Px. Yeah. Px.
No.
Yeah, and here you can kind of choose what do you
Yeah, I
want
know.
to see.
It depends.
I
No,
wanna be it round, not
maybe
not
then just choose 50 pixels.
it just adjusts the borders here, you know, like it's smoother. Nothing. If I give it percent, it's make it more rounded. Yeah, you see?
Mm,
Did you try 200 pixel?
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Can you choose like a square image and see whether it works or not? Like 4x4 or 2x2. This is more like wider image, maybe because image size is not fitting.
Specify.
yeah, from the beginning.
You can specify, or you can get new like square image from Google.
What do you mean? What do you want to do?
No, I'm thinking maybe you will try this border. Just give 50 pixels and it will be more rounded. Just let's see, and if it will not work,
Border radius 50 pixels.
Mhm.
No, it's just
Oh,
doing
okay,
here.
okay, gotcha.
No?
Mhm.
If you try to do not height, but width instead of height, like 150 width.
Он просто, да, он оригинальный свой.
And after it,
Can you give height and width same pixels maybe?
mhm.
It's gonna be a square and oh no, it's not round.
And 50 pixel, 50%, I mean, not the
Yeah,
radius, yeah.
%.
Yeah, here you
Yeah.
go. Thank you. Okay. And I do one problem. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's call this code worse. I can't. What was that? I can't like link CSS file here. Oh. Nothing happens. We see here numbers, and then when I insert it disappears. Well, it's not disappears. I don't know what happened. But when I open and in my where was it? In my browser,
Okay.
everything works okay. No, I don't know
Mhm.
what happens.
Maybe in Kotlin, let's see what we have here.
Can you go
To the HTML and see. Maybe the class name is different
So
or
basically,
something
we
like
don't need a body on HTML. You can delete from line 8 till up everything.
that. Mhm.
Yes, and body and those parts. Yes, body also.
Mhm.
Okay. It doesn't matter anyway. Doesn't work.
And here,
Oh.
let's see. Mhm.
So we don't need a link, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah, no
don't need.
need.
Yeah. And class.
Doesn't work anyway.
Can you just comment some parts and start little by little, like a container background color?
Okay.
So it's working, right? Little by little.
Yeah, what happened? And now.
I guess on your VS Code, some updates you got, like maybe some plugins or something like that.
No, I
Which
didn't.
Sandbox is cannot read, like third party maybe, like colors, maybe some
No, I
specific
didn't.
colors which.
It's just simple code, you know. Box 1, box 2, nothing special.
So if you comment everything and only leave the first block, it works, right? Where is your
Yes.
closing tag of first container?
It works.
Can you go to the first container, CSS? First line. Wait, okay. So on your second block, there is a problem. That's why it's not showing.
Second block here.
Yeah, you can.
It looks.
And yeah, it works. Rest of. So you can leave a second block, but uncomment everything, and we'll see.
Everything works. When I
What's your
insert
second
that,
block?
but what's wrong?
What do you want on this block? Like, you want to apply for first box, second box?
No, I just want to generalize, the properties for each block and then specify it like here personally, the other properties.
Maybe, can you do, instead of numbers, can you use like letters, box 1, box 2, something, because of that may problem, naming?
Who has position relative for the
You
absolute?
remember
Who is
Asel has the same problem.
Who is parent? The container. Container.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe because of it, because the parent is relative and in the same time to each box you are giving absolute and
Nurslan, can you try box underscore 1, your box names, right?
Yes.
Instead of number, can you just type 1, 2, like letters? Even as no number. You remember Asel has the same problems.
Underscores it doesn't read underscores. No.
I guess.
It works in my browser, but it doesn't work in Kotlin.
yeah, sometimes it happened, it's not because of code or something like this, it's because of
I guess
the general
Kotlin.
settings in Kotlin, yeah.
Try to use
you can copy it and put for each of them separately.
Yeah,
No, when I
maybe
insert
just we can solve with this.
this part, no.
Maybe
disappears.
it doesn't read that you put all classes in one line through the comma. And yeah, maybe in your case, it can be solutions that you will put each CSS to each your block, to each your box.
What if you delete commas?
Also, the thing is here, are you doing
It
position
disappeared
absolute
again.
and yeah, because you are putting position absolute and all of them in the one place, I think, and all of them by
But
that index 1 and they close. Maybe you will give them position absolute also top and left, so you will see them separately.
but I don't see them at all.
Yeah,
Just
try
white
to
screen.
give some top and left
Okay.
after position absolute.
Top 0. It's gonna be left. Oh, after. Give me a second. Okay.
After
Yeah.
better, yeah, give after position absolute and give also pixels or percentage, something like this. And give them some 10 pixels or 10%.
I gave it the top left corner. Supposed to be
I
here.
guess you should start all over from little by little, like first.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll think about it later.
Yeah.
Stop share.
But if but main idea, if it's working in VS Code in your browser and you know how to do it, it's a main idea because in Kotlin sometimes it happens, but yeah, don't worry too much. I mean,
Okay.
don't spend a lot of time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully we could help you. Guys, do you have more questions regarding homework or any other questions? Also, I will do announcement today about one-on-one meetings. Please book a time. And if you have any questions that you want to ask privately, we can talk, and you can ask questions related homework, related some admin stuff during that one-on-one meetings, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Julius, I have a question.
Yeah, hi.
So are we going to have different instructors every day, or so how it's gonna look like for the next?
Mm-hmm. You will have the same amount of instructors, but for Mondays you will have Azamat, and for Wednesdays you will have also Azamat, and Tuesday Tahir, and in other days Manier, Mario, as it was before, and Asile on Saturdays. So you will have Azamat twice per week and Tahir for Tuesday classes.
Azamat is going to be which days? Monday, Wednesday?
Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, so maybe, maybe you ask them just to, communicate better, not to repeat. Last week it was kind of a repetition. So,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, thank a lot for that ones who leave us feedbacks. It's really important. We are reading it, and after each feedback, we are trying to improve from our side also. Please leave feedbacks. Any feedbacks for us valuable.
Yeah, I already left it. And who is going to be instructor for the JavaScript?
The same instructors most likely, but sometimes it can change. But we will try to keep same instructors for you.
Same instructor means 3 different instructors every day.
Generally in each cohort we have around 3-4 instructors. So for one instructor we are giving 2 classes, and for example, on Fridays you will have data structures and algorithms. They will be taught by Mario, and on Wednesdays it's project class. They done also by Azamat. Projects always done by Azamat, and Manier also taking 1 class. Usually in each cohort we have this picture. So we have in every cohort 3-4 instructors. It can be in the beginning kind of little bit tricky, but to know different instructors, different ways of teaching, it's also good.
So basically, every instructor has their own, each of them has their own topics, what they teach.
Each of them have main topics, and Friday class, sometimes it's not related to the main to other classes, because after JavaScript starts, it will be data structures and algorithm classes, so it will be separate class. And Wednesday class also project classes. During project classes you are doing more bigger projects, and you get task for 2 weeks. So it's also a little bit different, and more theoretical part where you learn a lot. You will have on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Okay, when we will start using Git? It's easier.
This GitHub you will start using from this week, yeah.
Okay.
You will be taught by Azamat on Wednesday. So Tuesday today, tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Can we just leave now?
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
have any
If you don't
questions.
have questions, yes, you
See
can
you.
leave.
Have a nice
See you.
evening.
Yeah, Julius,
thank you.
what's the
Thank-
duration of the 101 would be?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. Imamidin, hi, how are you? Hello. Oksana, hi.
Hi, Yıldız. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. How are you? How was the class?
Good. I'm trying to understand and
Good, good.
but I have a question about buttons.
Yeah, go ahead. You please share your screen and we will take a look.
I don't finish it yet. I don't do it yet. 1 minute.
Yeah, not yet.
Так, is good.
Okay, I can see your screen.
1 minute. Here was buttons. Scroll. I can find my folder.
Let's see, let's see. Just give me a second. Let's see your button HTML, the VS Code.
Yes.
Why it's not opening anything? Let's see.
Can't understand it.
Could you please show me VS Code? So you don't have anything on your body because of it in your button. Body is empty. Can you see? Maybe do you want to open index.html?
Yeah, where I put it and it was in here. Practice.
Next to button is this index.html?
Maybe that.
Sapar Oksana or not this? About me.
I don't save it. Oh, or here it's.
You know also how you can take a look. Could you please give me control and I will show you how you can take a look with some homeworks or things. I think here should be. Yes, that. Practice HTML about practice one. What's the name was? Practice one, practice.
Practice, I think, first. This one, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see, bottom empty index HTML. It's not about it, right? So it's not here. For sure, we can close it. And let's see again. Maybe practice one.
HTML plus maybe inside.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe here look button. Do you mean this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what's the question?
How can I do the border?
Border, what do you mean? Could you please show me?
And the in button here was an like border in the at the homework
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Okay. Border, I think it's CSS, it's also border.
And
Mm, Border, and you should give, I think your CSS here working in not this button CSS,
I
inside, inline, you gave it inline.
here what I must write here div or inline.
No, just give me a second. So, look, you have your homework here, right? And you should put an CSS also to this file. Move. So in your button folder, you have your CSS and link, and then it will work. Wait. And where it was here. And after it, you can go to the and its button CSS. Button CSS. Do you have div? You should give to this. You can give to div as well, but if it's container, you should use the class name with dot like this, and of course save it.
Это точка обязательно?
Точка, да, потому что это название класса же buttons, и поэтому. И еще я вот точно не помню, но, наверное, лучше с маленькой буквы. Давайте посмотрим. Buttons, и вы должны дать, посмотрите, и вы даете диву, да, но вы должны же каждой кнопке дать. И чтобы каждой кнопке дать, наверное, лучше вот этот на элемент, не на контейнер, а на элемент. Да, вот удалить название класса, попробовать вот так. Потом, вот так правильно дается, да? Он так дается. Должен работать. Еще дело в том, что width, height, background color, button. И здесь у нас есть link, есть button CSS. А мы можем перезагрузить вот эту страницу? Давайте я остановлю, а вы перезагрузите эту страницу. Или можете вот Go Live заново сделать внизу. Мгм. Окей. Но почему-то стиль не привился, да? А вы можете тогда сделать так, открыть еще раз CSS.
CSS,
Button CSS.
это файл, да?
Нет, просто открыть, посмотреть,
Это
что у нас в Button CSS. Border 5 pixel. И можно вот в баттоне линия 15. Здесь еще на вот баттоне Option Z сделайте. Нажмите Option Z вместе, где баттон HTML.
HTML.
Option Z. Здесь можете удалить вот на 4 кнопке линия 15. Text color, blue, green, вот это все я оставить только aqua. И может быть здесь вам дать border, вот это линию из button CSS линию 2 скопировать и поставить сюда, потому что вы как бы уже inline даете стиль. Линию 2 из button CSS, да, вот где border 5 пикселей скопируйте и поставьте вовнутрь баттона. Без баттона.
без баттона.
Да, просто border скопируйте, линию вторую полностью. И принесите на button HTML. После aqua.
Да? Или это наверх?
Нет, вот прям вовнутрь, после aqua. Внутри можете Command Z сделать.
Command Z, да?
Вот точка запятой стоит после нее. И посмотрим, добавилось, нет? Давайте я возьму контроль. Сейчас еще раз. Вроде нет, не добавилось, да? Border color может быть сразу. Нет, знаете, solid вот это color нету, по-моему. Давайте этот посмотрим, погуглим сразу. Где? Вот здесь. Border color. Сейчас. Видите, чуть по-другому надо давать, оказывается. Border. Ну, тогда можем и здесь, в принципе. Вот сейчас. Здесь удалю. М, Вот. И теперь, наверное, можно дать. Вы просто это название, просто border написали, оказывается, из-за этого.
Border color и border style, да, обязательно надо писать.
Да, да, вот как здесь показано, вот так надо писать. И давайте дадим еще the size, да? М, ну вот, хотя здесь так написано. А у нас... там просто слово color было лишним, значит. До этого у вас, вы, наверное, хотели, например, вот так. Но после solid у вас еще слово color было, помните, вот так. Поэтому не работало. А надо было, кажется, просто solid и red. И давайте посмотрим, что у нас в документе. Вот так.
А сейчас тогда, если это текст надо изменить button и это фонд, да? Фонд стайл или текст.
Да. Нет, font style. И тут внутри, например, font size, да? Давайте скажем, что мы хотим побольше сделать. Тогда, например, 65 пикселей. Должно сработать. Вот так.
Классно. И если это хочу изменить color, значит фонд color.
Если прям color вот этого текста,
Значит,
это
purple.
тоже, вот видите, он сам сразу дает.
М,
Где? Ну, и думаю, фонд color было, или фонд style. Это типа, если фонд color, вспомнила, там просто color, как вы написали, просто color и, например, blue. Вот так.
мгм.
Потом со временем это вот придет, да, запомните. Ну, для начала вот, даже вот я каждый раз, если что-то мне надо, мне нужно погуглить, но я найду, где это, да, вот это самое главное. Хорошо?
Мгм. Да, я поняла. Спасибо. А чтобы тут, чтобы все в порядок было, как надо сделать, чтобы файлы...
И чтобы так было, просто вам надо вот этот button вытащите сюда, например. Окей. Нет, не так. Извините, не так. Вот обычно я вот так прошу сделать, да? Вот открывайте одну папку, да? Пишите homework, название, да? Например, вот так. И здесь создаете еще папку. И, например, buttons. Упс. Кнопки, да? И, вот. Вот это можно, например, скопируем. Можно вот так. Упс. Button HTML. Button CSS. И тоже сюда. Ой, а куда HTML? Вот здесь. И все, вот в баттонсе у вас есть ваш homework. И еще новую кнопку, да? About. Ой. Ну, вы поняли, да?
Да, поняла. Значит, это автоматически сохраняется тут это VS Code?
Не, VS Code, если вы внутри папки работаете, то да, он сохраняет. Но если вы просто один раз создали и там Command-S не сделали, не сохранили, то не сохранится. А так автоматически да. Все, что вы сохранили, он сохранится. И вот то, что для About Me нужно, тоже туда перенесете и сделаете. И для других домашек тоже. И потом, если что-то потеряли, здесь смотрите, окей, где я работала. Вот видите, homework он уже есть. И вот так откроете, он уже разделен, да? Да, этот же. Homework сейчас нам должен открыть. Ну, а если хотите, типа, заново открыть New Window, и там Open Folder, и Desktop, да? И мы вот открыли Homework. И какая домашка нужна, вот ее и открываете. Если нужен Buttons, открывайте Buttons. Если нужен About Me, открывайте About Me. Если откроете просто Homework, то он откроет вам вот так. 2 фолдера по порядку и внутри файла, да? И вот так. Окей?
Да, поняла. Спасибо. Это еще один вопрос. Div, для чего пользуемся div?
Div он контейнер. Вот мы же называем контейнер. Это потому что мы туда ложим кнопки, хеддинг, спан, линки. Вот, например, мы хотим что-то построить, да? И мы делим его на разделы. И там первый раздел это у нас типа, скажем так, первый раздел веб-сайта, да? Для нас даже вот в Баттоне, да, вот домашку вы делаете, первый раздел, скажем, тут нет, здесь только один раздел, да? 3 кнопки все вместе стоят, но этот один раздел можно еще разделить на 2. Мы видим, что первые 3 кнопки, они поменьше, они вот прям похожи друг на друга. И 4-я чуть другая. И тогда мы просто для первых 3 можем сделать отдельный div, и для 4-й, 4-ю просто поставить после отдельного дива, или тоже в отдельный div положить.
А какая разница между это класс ID и div?
ID, он уникальный, то есть ID, ну, вообще по синтаксису класс, точка, да? Точка, потом название. ID, решетка, потом название. И разница в том, что классы вы можете дать, например, 3 дивам одинаковый класс. И стиль, который вы дадите, он на всех скажется, да, как вот с баттоном, да? Мы по тег-нейму его выделили по баттону, и он все бордеры красит нам сейчас, все буквы красит. ID, если мы хотим вот button 4, Вот пусть button 1, 2, 3 будет синим, а button 4 красным. Название, да, слова. Тогда мы берем ID. Нам из всего надо выделить только одно. Вот тогда используем ID.
Все, тогда я поняла.
Все, тогда рада была помочь.
Спасибо вам большое.
Вам спасибо. Тогда увидимся еще.
Да.
До свидания.